Hello everyone, welcome back to Dark Cloud 2, episode 12. This is the first time I've managed to record in my month-long hiatus, even though technically episode 11 came out a month after it was recorded. This is the first time I'm actually recording for it. I do apologize for that. Job's been keeping me pretty busy, because both me and Thorn work regular 9-to-5 jobs that kind of keep us away from doing this, so I do apologize for the month-long wait, but we are back. I honestly don't remember what part of the story we're at. I do believe we just unlocked geostones and the ability to use the georama system. So we'll probably be going over that in a bit more detail today. But first we gotta go collect our geostones, which we were warned about last episode. However, I did not show off the future in last episode, so that's where we're going to begin. And I gotta remember to turn up the desktop audio for cutscenes to make editing easier for Thorn, because there's a bit of a difference between the two. Yeah. This right here is what the future currently looks like. Like a beautiful sight with the sunlight coming through the trees. It's pretty barren, except for this lone furbit here. You know, lately it's been kind of lonely. Feels like something big's missing, you know? Anyway. Here we do have a box we can pick up containing a Fruit of Eden. And give that to whichever character you wish. I'm going to hang on to it for now. And there's something I should point out if you're trying to play along or play ahead. Here's another chest over here. Potato pie. You can miss out on certain boxed items if you build the place too fast. Because some boxes, because the game developers didn't polish this game all that well, sit underneath where some of the items go that appear here. I don't exactly remember what chests they are, but if you split everything up evenly, Monica and Max should both have the same exact health and defense all the way through the game, if you split it evenly. So if they're not, you probably missed a box. The problem with that is, if you spawn in the box, but don't pick it up, and then put the item on top of it that gets rid of it, you lose the box forever. Whereas if you built up all of Sindane at once, and the boxes don't spawn in before you actually go into the thing, you can still take it apart and get them back. But if you go to the future, the box is there and you just don't pick it up, and then something goes over it, you lose the box forever. So keep that in mind. But anyway, we're going back to the Great Fish Swamp today. Oh, and seeing as the second we switched to trying to do a video every day to keep up with you guys, so you can keep up with the comments and stuff, considering the second we started that, we couldn't keep up with it as efficiently as when I recorded all of Chapter 1 at once. We are going to be doing these in batches. I'm definitely not going to do chapter-long batches, because Chapter 1 is definitely the shortest chapter of the game. And it's fairly easily do that all in one batch. But I might be doing 5 to 6 episodes a batch. I'm not going to be doing that right away, but probably once I get to episode 20, I'll do them in 5-episode batches. I might only do 3 and 3 here for now, because I got, let's see, this is episode 12. I might do 4 and 4. 12 through 15, then 16 through 20. It might be what I do. Anyway, now we come back here, took care of Great Martin. Let's go ahead and talk to Master Utan.
Hey, you're back.
Master Utan, you're looking a lot better now.
Sure. I just ate something I wasn't supposed to, after all. I'm gonna be more careful from now on.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
By the way, we want to ask you a favor.
Hmm?
We want to get through here. Do you think you can move that boulder for us?
Oh, that? Piece of cake. Wait right here.
Wow! Master Utan, you're so strong.
How about that? Guess I still got it. Ow!
Are you okay?
Oh boy, I've gone and sprained my back. I think I'll rest here a while. You go on ahead.
Maybe you should exercise a little more often. But thanks a lot. You really helped us out.
Right. We'll see you later.
Thorn, I can definitely see why you don't like Monica, but I swear, she comes around eventually. Anyway. Let's go ahead and move on. I do have my mic back in its old position where it was, so you might be hearing the fan from the computer now. That's a little unfortunate because I no longer have the stand I had it on before to try getting it away from the fan. So for a few episodes till I get something to replace it, you might be hearing it throughout a couple episodes. But I don't have my big fan running, and it's hotter than heck in here. Alright, this is a geostone as our next floor. Time limit, 5 minutes. This is probably one of the first floors you'd be able to actually do it on with your current weapons if you rush the floor. I don't think I'm going to go for it, but if I get it, I get it. But we now have our second thing revealed, now that we have a fishing pole. Any area with water will have a fishing goal. Not every area is like this, as we'll get into later. But as you can see, we still haven't unlocked what the third goal is. The third mystery goal is where the same goal throughout the entirety of the first dungeon. Because there's not really anywhere big enough there to fish from, even though there is technically water on every floor. So if you wanted to go back to the underground water channel, that'd still be a question mark. But for all of these, you can now see that there's a fishing goal. And we'll come back and get the fishing goals for the floors we've already been to the same time we come back for that third mystery goal. I will, however, be trying to get it every floor going onward, though. I'm only going to fish once or two times a floor, and then after that, I'm going to just move on and then make sure I get it when I come back later for it. Also, you can only fish after you clear the floor, so keep that in mind. Found bread. I had a decent rhythm going. Also, this is the floor where you're going to clear everything with the Ripod. Let me check where our stats were on everything. Level 5. Okay. Just brought you up to the True Battle Wrench. Okay. You're at the Gladius level 2. And I didn't want to build you up at all, that's right. Okay. What's the Ripod sitting at currently? 800 experience, barrel cannon, basic core. We'll work on the Ripod later. I want to work on my weapons still right now. Monica's weapons are a little bit more important to build up, so we're going to show her off a little bit more. First up here is, if I can get off the molar. So you might want to target molar. Face of Praja. These things have two attacks. One where they sit there and swing their swords like this here. You just seen it a couple times there. And you also seen them shoot the green acid. So we're going to go ahead and start attacking these guys. Ooh. I'm not sure how I didn't get hit by the mist there. Alright. Actually, do we have anyone in our party real quick? I should probably make note of that. We do not. Okay. We're actually going to stick with Max then. Because I just remembered why I haven't used Monica too much yet. Like I said. It's been a little bit. So. These guys whipping bombs at us aren't nice. Oh, we only got one bread. I forgot to get more healing items. Okay, I know the thing we're going to do after this floor. Or a couple things, actually. If you're wondering why the pumpkin fell over there, rarely with Max's weapon, or I don't mean rarely, you can do it with all of them, but most projectile attacks you can actually knock back with Max's weapon. I haven't shown that off yet because it's very hard to do. But we didn't manage to knock the poison back towards the pumpkin head, so that's why he fell over there. At least I think that's what happened. Thorn will have to let me know when she watches the footage back. But right there, I just did it again. Yeah. That can happen with most of Max's weapons. Not all, though. And the reason I want to wait on Monica a little bit longer than what I have is something we will hopefully get into either this episode or the next. And I should probably have Cedric in my party while leveling up the wrench, but, you know. We're still in the early game weapons yet, so it's not going to make all that much of a difference. We did just build up our weapon, so it's going to gain experience a little bit faster than it was before. So do keep that in mind. I've been gone a month. I lost the whole rhythm I had with commentary. I do apologize for that, and I'm back into going a lot. I can already hear that. Ooh. Bananas are a pretty decent healing item. Doesn't quite heal us to full, but it does give you the thirst status, so you will need to use a water to heal it up. We are also kind of reaching the point of the game where I'm not going to try talking through a whole dungeon floor. And I'll probably end up cutting most of it out. Because the further we go on, the longer the dungeons get, the harder that's going to be. And not every dungeon gives you... or not every floor gives you new enemies to work with, especially in the longer dungeons. So... eventually, there will be times where I will just skip over most of a floor, which will help actually getting more done in episode. Because showing the entire floor every episode for our first time through does eat up a lot of the time for the episode. I think most of the way through Dungeon 2 it's still going to be like this, but definitely when we get to the third dungeon, it's going to switch up. And I don't have my tea either. I'm going to have to make that between episodes. Yeah, normally I keep tea around to sort of help with my voice. I can already feel my throat straining just from the talking I've been doing, mixed with the talking I did the rest of the day. So, for anyone wondering, it is currently 12:30 in the morning, and I do work tomorrow. Like I said, I'm trying to make more time for this, and that's really the only time I got. Oh, come on. I really hate fighting two of these guys at once. So hard to dodge when you got that. They time their attacks perfectly with each other. Not the most annoying group of enemies to fight, but definitely up there. And I'm not trying to min-max weapons. Is another reason like I didn't go, oh shoot, I didn't have Cedric in there. I need to reset. Maxing stats for weapons is not that hard. In all honesty. Definitely gets harder the more you go up, but... there is a somewhat decent trick I can show you later. Can't carry any more Ripod fuel, that's kind of sad. I hate wasting those when I find them in blocks. 2 Ripod fuels in a row? Oh my, I really feel bad that we didn't use the Ripod. I don't know if it affects it or not, but I usually tend to notice that floors that require the rye pod tend to have more rye pod fuel on them. So, I honestly don't have to save this potato pie. I saved the fruits of Eden, but the potato pie is a character-specific thing. So now Max has higher defense than Monica. And that right there is what we're looking for. This here is a geostone. It's the first geostone we've picked up. Now, I don't remember if a cutscene happens as soon as we exit this floor, or if it's right after this floor. But, oh, I didn't realize you could throw those downwards. Most projectiles don't go like that. Looks like we got one more enemy here. One more pumpkin head. I'm a little rusty. I don't think I've normally been playing this bad. Normally the only things I've been having issue with is the photo ops. That has been all enemies cleared on this floor. So now, we're going to go back to our local watering hole over here and try fishing. Now that all enemies have been cleared. And if we go to move here and check our floor, we need to catch something that's at least 50 centimeters long. It's a bit on the higher end, and we don't have that great a fishing pole yet, but we can see if we can do it. Yeah, I might be able to do it with the stats that we got from grinding last episode. We'll put a worm on the fishing hook here. And then stuff like this I'm also going to cut around for future episodes. I'm also cut around here when I'm done talking. Go ahead and pull the map off. Because you really don't need to use a lot of this stuff. And apparently my... Oh, crap. Apparently my game audio is a little low. I think I turned it down too far after the cutscene. My bad. I've yet to get copyrighted for this game, which is nice. Because I got copyrighted for every single episode of the new threat mod. It was annoying. It's weird. It was the boss theme that was getting copyrighted, but Sega Chief uses his own boss theme. I think. I might not have had his music on, because that is a setting in the game, and I think I do like the default, like, overworld music more. So I might have been getting copyrighted for the normal stuff. 48 centimeters. Dang, so close. Worth 50 fishing points, though. So we're going to put another bait on the hook. Even if it doesn't give us a cutscene, I do believe we are going to want to go back right away. Because the geostones you find always give the same thing, depending on which one you pick up. It's not random. Like the first game where whatever items you get from the Georama boxes are random. Somewhat. So... I do believe this is the only one we need, but we might need the next floors. But if I remember right, this is going to set us up for... This is going to be a small fish. Yeah.
You gotta look tomorrow?
Yeah, 2.
2 o'clock?
Yep. I completely lost my train of thought. There's a recording at night. I'm not usually interrupted. Crap, what was I going on about? That was random as a diorama. Oh, yeah. And if this triggers what I think it triggers, it's going to set up next episode to probably be the longest episode we've had so far. I'm going to go ahead and try one more, and then we're going to go ahead and go on. Like I said, I'll try this again later on when our fishing pole's a little bit better. Like it's fairly hard to get 50 and above this early on. Mid 30s to low 40s is usually what you'll end up reeling in. Ooh, this one might cut it. Ooh, this is definitely a bigger fish. The problem is I can't ever guess how big a fish it is by how fast it reels in. Because I've had some really tiny ones come in like this, but it depends on what race they are. Or what species of fish, I guess. So like that one was a lot harder to reel in than the 48 centimeter nibbler. But it was a gobbler. That's also 48 centimeters. So yeah. So we'll come back when our fishing pole's a little bit better. Like technically I can get its strength up a bit more right now. I think you want a strength of at least 6 or 7 to consistently get 50 or bigger. So even increasing that up to 5 right now wouldn't do a whole lot. I think I'm going to put that point into look, though. And that is going to be it for this floor. Let's go back and see if we can't trigger that cutscene or not. Where am I going? There. And like I said in earlier videos, I am going back to the bigger map. I know it's going to bother some people, but that's how I prefer playing, so... Also, if you want to play this game along with me or try it out for yourself, I think last I looked it was only $15 on the PlayStation Store. Which is kind of neat. Yep, we're going to go ahead and go back, and I believe this is going to trigger a cutscene, so let me switch all this beforehand, and let's go back. My apologies, I did not realize that cutscene wasn't voiced. Alright, so to go into the diorama menu, you just hit triangle. From there you have make. Then you have a whole list of things that you've gotten from the diorama. The pollen remaining pretty much says how much you can make left. It's not really stated how much each one of these cost in terms of how much pollen it uses. But you can figure it out by placing it on the ground, coming back in, checking, that sort of thing. I've never maxed out pollen in any place that I've built. So there's that. First what we're going to do is clean up, because all these grass and rocks lying around, all these logs, we can't place over them. Actually, I do, however, want to snap a couple pictures real quick before I pick it all up. It's like, for example, this grass is here, so the item turns red if we can't lay over top of it. So we're going to want to move all that stuff. But I do, however, want to take pictures of all these before we move on. And I don't remember if I took a picture of this or not, but this is also a thing. It's with a Jurek. We're not going to be able to do all the Chapter 2 pictures today, but I did want to get those before I pick these up. Because after I pick them up, I usually destroy them for materials. You can make more, replace them to get pictures of things, but pretty sure you can get logs and rocks elsewhere. I think this is the only way you can get a picture of grass, though. Because otherwise, if you just take a picture of the ground, it counts as a picture of the area. We're going to go ahead and pick up the Furbit house, too. You can't destroy the Furbit house, but you can pick it up and move it. I do want to set this a bit closer to the corner over here. We're going to set it out about that far, and we're going to have it face this way. And we're going to have our trees over here. I would like to point out you're not limited at all in how you have to build this, as long as you meet some of the conditions. Over here in the analysis, Forest Lake restored, Glowing Mushrooms restored, Elder Jurek revived. So, as long as you meet those requirements, you're not limited as much as in building as you are in Dark Cloud 1. Whereas every town pretty much has to be built the exact same way every time to get all the rewards. This does not. Sindane itself is a little bit harder to work with. As there's one particular thing that takes up a lot of room. So wherever you put it depends on what you're going to need to do. But even that's not too limited. And we didn't quite unlock what I wanted to, so we're going to go ahead and jump into another floor. After I go back to Palm Brinks and buy a few things. So I will meet you back in the dungeon when I'm done with that. Also, a quick way back to Palm Brinks, you can just go to Move, select Palm Brinks. I came in here to check something else, but at the weapon shop, Max can now buy the Turtle Shell Hammer, which is the first weapon in one of his hammer trees. So if you wanted to start down that a little bit earlier than you normally would from building up from the wrench, you can now buy that. Monica's stuff's still the same, though. I'm going to go ahead and buy 20 bread. It doesn't cost a whole lot. And we're going to need a few healing items. And since that didn't unlock what I wanted to, we are going to put Cedric in the party to keep using Max. Also, the second part of the town is now available. We'll get to all that much later on. Probably, I shouldn't say much later on. It'll probably be the next episode, because I'm going to unlock what I want to do in this episode. Or I'm going to attempt to anyway. If it's not on the next floor, then it'll probably be 2 episodes away. Because I do want to cover all that in one episode. Oops, that's not where I wanted to go. Sundane Station. There we go. Now we're going to go ahead and add Cedric to the party. Because for the next floor, we are going to be using Max's wrench again. And I'm going to have to go back and watch my synthesizing episode to figure out what I was doing with the weapon plans. I'll probably do it after this episode. While I'm making my tea and stuff, I'll rewatch that. Because I have no idea what I was doing with the weapons. Noise in the forest. Attack and defeat all enemies using Max's gun. We are not going to be doing that. Also, this has a 60 centimeter fishing goal, so we're probably not going to clear it, but we'll give her an honest attempt. The reason I don't want to do that with Max's gun, 1, we got bigger guys here, so it's going to be a little harder. And 2, we're about to change the way we can do Max's gun, so I want to wait a little bit longer. You know, I'm going to use this floor to demonstrate, because I don't think there's a new monster type on this floor. So I'm going to experiment on how I'm going to have Thorn edit floors from now on. So I'm not going to be doing a whole lot of talking, then I'll leave in exciting stuff. We do have a new enemy here. Okay. This is this dungeon's version of a mechanical enemy. As far as I know, he only has one singular attack. This is the only attack I've ever seen him use. He shoots out from his blast cannons. I have no weapon currently strong enough to take that on with Max, so we are going to use the Ripod for this a little bit. And apparently I accidentally opened a chest. If the Ripod still had his arms, I'd block the attack to show it off, but he does not, so... Anyway, that's the new enemy for this floor. They're definitely more dangerous than the ones in the channel are. Oh, here's our Georama. Let's go ahead and pick that up. Oh, we have 2 elements here. Or 2 new enemies here. The fire element. This wasn't that good a floor to stop talking in. Elements are interesting enemies. This is the first one we've had pop up. But they all attack the same. Now, I hear what some of you might be thinking. Well, most enemies that look alike in this game attack the same. Not completely. While they do the same motions and stuff, a lot of enemies in the game have their own like animation for their weapons. Like in the water channel, the rat holds a log, and one later on uses a fork. It actually has a different motion that it uses with the fork. Whereas all elementals attack exactly the same. So elements can close in from a distance or do that, which this one seems to be the only attack it wants to do. Or, if you're far enough away, they will launch projectiles at you. So, Oh, and that attack hits multiple times. That hurt. But that's going to be all enemies here. We're going to try a couple rounds of fishing, and we'll go on and head out. And if I remember it, that should unlock what I want to unlock for next episode. Holy Element. Paint. Technically, you can fish in the little creeks like this, but I prefer having a bigger body of water to fish in. That's just my own personal thing. I like fishing these rivers that are like that. But what I really like to fish in are the big open bodies of water like this here. I'm going to go ahead and equip the fishing pole. Also, we found 2 more battle wrenches from Max. So... once again, that'll come in handy for when we want to build his ultimate weapons. This is a very small fish. 39 centimeter guppy. Technically you can fish with carrots, but I want to save those for a specific spot in Chapter 3. For those of you who played this game, you'll know why. For those of you who haven't, we'll get there when we get there. This fish is slightly bigger. I don't think it's 60 centimeters, though. If you're wondering how I can tell how big they are, it's by how fast the danger line goes up. Because if it goes up slowly, then it's a smaller fish. 49 centimeter per schooling. Decent sized. Technically the biggest we've caught in the forest so far. Because that shows you how much it's pulling on the line when you do it. And the bigger the fish, the faster that fills up. So for some, you can hold it forever and it'll barely go up. Whereas others, you barely tap X and it shoots to the top. So that's how you can tell how big the fish are. And that's not completely accurate, because like had that been another guppy, guppy could have been 63 centimeters long and barely move the line because of the species of fish. So that's not always accurate, but you can kind of tell by doing that. Right, so now we're going to go ahead and head back to Sindane again. I just realized this recording's almost 45 minutes long. Jeez. Now that I remember, it might be the third geostone we need, but I'm hoping it's the second. I forgot that the first one's that whole big tutorial and it doesn't actually give you the thing you need to unlock the thing that we're going to do. The geostones automatically download as soon as you go into the menu here. You can now make eye tree 1, eye tree 2, nose tree, wither tree restored and been made clear. I don't think... Yeah, that didn't trigger it. Dang it. Okay. So it's probably going to be on the next floor. But that's going to do it for this episode. Next episode... even if the next floor holds the thing, we're probably going to go 2 more floors for the episode, because like I said, I want to cover everything that comes with the one thing in a single episode, or well, for the most part, in a single episode. Because there are some parts of it that you can't do till later chapters, but you can do the majority of it in Chapter 2. So, With that, we're going to call it a day. I'm going to go make myself some tea. Watch episode 10 so I remember what in the hell I was doing with my weapons. And then I'll probably be back to record episode 13. And I haven't even given episode 11 to Thorn yet, which I just realized. So I might be doing 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 this episode, or this session, and then do 16, 17, 18, 19, and 20 the next time I can record. Given to in batches of 5, we'll see how much better it goes. Yeah, because trying to do it one a day immediately shut down our plans for how often we could get together and stuff. So, hopefully we can do it a little bit easier this way. But anyway, that's going to be it for this episode. If you really enjoyed it, please leave a like. If you really enjoyed it, feel free to subscribe. And I appreciate the 4 of you that subscribed during my month-long hiatus. I don't remember your names off the top of my head. I'm sorry. But I will catch you guys in the next episode. Take care.